Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and the glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, shalom. I'm the brother Dhamma Gabar, here with another lesson, the Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, and I was watching this video. I watched it already, but it's with Tucker Carlson and Catherine Austin Fitts, which, she always brings out good information about, digital IDs, basically, this beast system that they're getting ready to implement, AI, mass surveillance, programmable money, which we know will eventually lead to the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, the implantable micro C-hip. All right. And, she goes into some good information, basically, going into why they're really bombing Iran, which, we've been telling you, Jakes, that, that America and Israel basically attacking Iran was inevitable. And it had nothing to do about, about Iran building nuclear weapons. It was a more nefarious, a more, deeper reason of why they want control of Iran and why they're talking about going into those 7 different so-called Middle Eastern countries, is because ultimately they need to get into Iran because Iran doesn't have a central bank. And now that they're, going in, putting, attacking Iran, we know ultimately it's for total control of that region. They need control of that region. They need to push out China. They need to push out Russia having, being allied and basically having, stopping China and Russia from having a strategic, stronghold in that area. But ultimately it's because these elites need to get a central bank into Iran so they can bring in this technocracy, so they can bring in this programmable money, bring in this beast system. And she's going to tap into that. She's going to bring out some other information. But, it's ultimately showing you that at the end of the day, all roads are leading to this beast system, to the implantable micro C-hip. All right. This new world order, so she's going to go into that. I'm going to hop around a little bit in this video, but ultimately, it's everything that we've been prophesying and telling you, is now that time is at hand. It's no longer tarrying. It's no longer a game. And a lot of you Israelites out there teaching that the mark of the beast is a sin, and that it has nothing to do with, the micro C-hip or this technocracy or all of this digital ID system that they're putting in place. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. All right. And you better get the breakdowns right, and you better get your mind right, because this thing is coming. All right. And them going into Iran and, trying to get a footing in that place is all about this beast system they're trying to implement. So I'm going to play some of this video. I just got a couple of precepts, but hey, she's bringing out good information. So let's go.
To 9/11. And when Wesley Clark said we're
Oh, and fair use. All right. I'm just using this for educational purposes. I'm not monetizing. I'm not making any money off of this video whatsoever. So
invade 7 countries in 5 years. What you were talking about were the countries where those central banks were not on board to do programmable money.
You see, and what is the programmable money going to lead to? This beast system is going to lead to the micro C-hip, the mark of the beast, man. You see, it's all about total control, and they need to get access into Iran. She's going to explain it.
And their governance structures were not on board with essentially, because of Epstein, I'll call it the Rockefeller Rothschild model. There was an effort to say, okay, we're going to basically assert control of the central banks in those countries. That's my interpretation. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing so much tension around Iran is because Iran right now is the big leakage in the system.
See, and this is why you're hearing Trump telling the Iranian people, overtake your government, that we need regime change. It's not because these devils are trying to go into Iran and bring democracy. That's just the bullshit. That's just the veneer of why they, are pretending as if they want to help the Iranian people. It's ultimately to bring in this system. all right, to bring in this programmable money, to bring in this beast system. That's what it's all about. It's all about control for these elites and for these international bankers, man. They need control of Iran so they can bring in this system.
How?
So,
Wait, it's not about their nukes?
No. So, well, Iran's central bank counts. One of the reasons it counts is because their oil and energy is very important.
Oh, okay.
Boost your energy, boost your vitamin D, boost your blood flow, boost.
Shut up, nigga.
Energy is very important, including for China.
Yeah.
And that's very important in the BRICS system. What the BRICS system is trying to do is to create independent payment systems. But if you're going to come out with programmable money, with digital IDs that are interoperable globally, and programmable money that controls in each jurisdiction centrally, you can't afford leakage. And so you've got way too much leakage in the system to proceed with what they're trying to do. And Iran and the BRIC nations are a sticking point. And certainly Iran's oil, feeding China gives China greater independence.
So you think that one of the motives behind toppling all these governments was the creation of the control grid we're talking about now?
Right. So if you go back, so you had the wonderful Richard Werner on your show. Yeah. And Richard has a book called The Princes of the Yen, which is about the sort of effort to take over the Japanese central bank. And I think what you're looking at, I think part of the state of play with both Russia and Iran is how are you going to make sure that those central banks are entirely in the system?
So, that was an amazing interview. And he told the story about writing this book on the Japanese central bank. I can't imagine a more obscure topic from my non-economically minded standpoint. It'd be like writing a book on postcards from the Falkland Islands. It's just like, okay, a book on the Japanese central bank. And he said, well, actually, they suppressed it. I couldn't get it published in the United States and you can't get a copy. And that's like checkable. So I checked it. You can't get a copy of that book. It's really hard.
I think you can order from its publisher right now.
Okay.
Right.
But I mean, why would someone try to suppress
because
a book?
It shows you the truth. It takes you right into the secret governance system, and it shows you the primary mechanism by which they implement policy.
Yeah. Well, it's always the things you're not allowed to say are probably the important things, right? I mean, whenever they penalize you for having a thought, you're probably on the right track.
Well, it's one of the critical train tracks of control. So it's what I call the third rail. So I used to finance transit systems and train systems. So, a lot of these systems have two tracks that the wheels go on, and then they have a third rail that the power line runs on, and you get a train trap that flips over and sucks the energy from the third rail. So a lot of the things that really operate the third rail are very invisible. And for example, in central banking, to talk about tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 capital at the BIS and the banks, there's nothing more boring. It's designed to absolutely...
I just fell asleep in the middle of that sentence.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right.
Is it boring by design?
The way you're taught to talk about it is boring by design. It's like the mechanisms of the legal system. If you look at the mechanisms of civil procedure or criminal...
All right, let me skip this part. Let me get to the other part I want to get to.
It's programmed with AI and software.
Okay, here we go. Right here.
To enforce a that allows digital technology that can make it very interesting. But the capital, most people don't understand the capital's, sort of regulatory system. And it can get very, very boring.
Can you just, for people who haven't seen your previous talk, explain what the control grid is, what it looks like, and what it means?
Okay, now here's the important part. See, this is what these devils are ultimately trying to implement. This is what we keep calling the beast system. Programmable money. This is what digital ID is all about. This is why they want everything going digital. This is why they want AI to be ubiquitous. This is why they want AI to be able to be unleashed without regulations and without control, because AI and 5G, 6G, this whole the fifth industrial revolution, This is what this is all about. Them bringing this beast system where you will need to have a micro C-hip implanted in you. So let me read this first. All right. And this is Revelations chapter 13, verse 14. It says, and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Now we know the original image of the beast is the ancient Roman Empire, okay? But now we're in this technological advanced second leg of the beast, which is America. All right. And the image of the beast is this new technological system. Like I said, digital IDs, programmable money, artificial intelligence. This whole fifth industrial revolution is the image and the system they're getting ready to make everybody have to worship and bow down to in order in the future to buy or sell, or to board a plane, or to have a bank account, or to have a driver's license, or just to function in this function in society in the future. You're going to have to worship this system and accept it in all of its forms, man, with all of its rules, all of its regulations, whatever they tell you to do, you're going to have to do it. No matter how evil, or no matter how wicked, or no matter how much it goes against your so-called personal core values. Hey, this system, once it's implemented, if you don't do what you're told, they'll be able to, with a flip of a switch, be able to lock you out of the system. And we're already seeing this in China, China is already low key, already a part of this system. If you litter, if you jaywalk, if you post things online that they don't like, they'll, your social credit score will drop. You won't be able to work. Your children won't be able to get into good schools. You won't be able to get on the train. And eventually, hey, they'll be even in certain cases, they've made people in China homeless who continue to violate, and their so-called social credit score rating has went down into the crapper. They become eventually homeless because they're totally blocked out of the system. And this is what these devils are getting. This is the system you're going to have to worship and align yourself with in the future. This is why at the beginning of the video, she said they're bombing Iran. It's not about their fucking nukes. It's not about regime change. It's because they want to put the central bank in there to be able to bring in these systems of control. Back here, and it says, and he caused that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that word is killed is apoktino, and the root word of apoktino is apo, which means of to be separated, man, of local separation of from one thing to another. Like I said, if you don't if you don't basically worship the system and do what they tell you to do, and you'll be able to be killed or separated totally. They'll be able to turn your microchip off. They'll be able to to lock you out of the system to where you can't buy or sell. And that's what it's all about. In verse 16, any cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. That word mark we always go into is charagma, which is the implantable micro C-hip, which is this form of technology that you heard Klaus Schwab, Noah Harari, all these different, talking heads at the World Economic Forum been telling you that you're going to have to merge with technology. You're going to have to eventually allow them access to the inside of you. All right. It's going from wearables to implantable devices, man. You see, and you have to understand these things. And in the future, if you want to buy and sell, you're going to have to eventually take that mark, which is the charagma, which is the micro C-hip. OK, it says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And this is what she's about to explain. So listen closely.
So the control grid is a process or an infrastructure that allows digital technology to be used.
Hey, and part of that digital technology is implantable devices. Like right now, we all use some form of some of these technologies. Like I said, your smartphone is a form of that. If you got a Apple Watch, that's a form of a wearable technology that eventually they're going to put on the inside of you, man. You see? They're going to want to have, in order for you to buy and sell in the future, all of this technology that you use, your wearables, your smart rings, your smart watches, what's that shit called? Your Whoop. It's like a little wearable that you wear when you work out. It tracks all your vitals. It tells you, how efficiently you're working out. If you're too tired, if you should take a break. These are all forms of wearable technology that eventually you're gonna have to have it subdermally implanted inside of you for them to have total control. You see, and they're going to be using AI, mass surveillance, all of this technology to eventually not only to monitor you as you're walking about, but also to have access to the inside of you. This is what Neuralink is all about. This is what Neuralink, telekinesis, all these different, Neuralink type of technology is all part of this beast system that they are going to use and force you to put within you in order to function in their futuristic system, man. So here we go.
To assert phenomenal surveillance and control of people. Yes. And at the very heart
and this is why I said he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. It's talking about all individual people on the earth. You see, if you want to be in this global system, and it's not just going to be in America, it's going to be a global system. You see, he's going to cause everybody to eventually have to bow down and worship this technology and these systems that they're creating.
It is what I call programmable money. So it's money that is no longer just a currency. It's money that comes with a set of rules that can be surveilled and forced. So imagine back in the pandemic, if your money, if I said, okay, you've got to lock down and your money won't work if you leave your house. You can't buy gas in your car because your money is programmed with.
See, your money is going to be programmed. And like the guy said, what will CBDCs look like in the future? He said about the size of a grain of rice, because that's how you're going to buy and sell in the future, is by that CHIP in you. If you want to go to the store, you just swipe your hand. You go into a store, your all of your CBDC, your digital money will be in your right hand or in your forehead. If you want to go buy, hey, you just go and scan that. You see, and this is the system that they're creating. This is what she's talking about. Now, she's not telling you it's the MOTB, but the system she is explaining is going to lead to what I just read in Revelations 13 and 16.
AI and software to enforce a whole set of centralized rules. And programmable money allows the bankers who've been running monetary policy.
The bankers, how are you going to buy and sell? This financial system is all linked to the MOTB and this technology that they're getting ready to force down everybody's throat.
To now control fiscal policy and essentially replace legislatures and executive branch by making and enforcing the rules through the money. Now that requires a large infrastructure of.
You see, but this is why they want 5G, 6G. This is why they're building all these data centers, man, because they need all of this energy and this electricity and this power to run this fucking system, a global system, man. And it's very easy to understand, man.
Surveillance. So you need digital IDs, and then you need the hardware locally and globally to do the surveillance and implementation. So, for example, if you look at the local hardware.
See, and this is why they want to put everybody in these 15-minute cities. It's all part of the infrastructure and a part of this system they're creating. It's not, the mark of the beast is not fucking sin, man. It's not a picture of white Jesus. It's not sleeping with white women. It's not, you got to go into the store. If you want to buy and sell, you got to tell them, oh, I committed adultery today, or I killed a guy, or whatever stupid shit these other Israelite niggas are telling you the mark of the beast is, man. It's all part of this system that they're implementing. Okay.
Now people are seeing it, now that it's material, they're beginning to see it snap into place. So I don't know if you know flock cameras, but there are many communities across the United States that are entering into contracts paid by the taxpayers to put up cameras all around their neighborhood that track license plates and keep that data and share it with a variety of people. Or you have the FCC is trying to overrule local controls on cell towers, so they can literally put cell towers every 400 to 700 feet.
See, because they need these cell towers everywhere, because they're going to be using their left-handed angels, AI, artificial intelligence, is going to be the one that's going to be tracking and monitoring everything that you fucking do. You see, they need this system in place.
So that they can have the kind of invasive surveillance you need. Or you have satellites now that can literally beam in Wi-Fi, so that whether you have Wi-Fi in your home or not, they can start to track you.
Yeah, see, AI is going to be watching you all day, every day, 24/7. You see, it's Esau trying to play God via this technology. Just how the Most High has his angels always watching, well, Esau is trying to do the same thing with AI and artificial intelligence via this infrastructure that they're building. This is why you got smart TVs, smart refrigerators, smart microwaves, This is why they have the Wi-Fi in your home. It's watching and monitoring and keeping tabs on every fucking thing, man. This is the beast system.
And all those systems put you in what I call the panopticon. So we saw in the Middle East with the first war with Iran, we saw 11 leaders out of 12 sort of top leaders in science and government assassinated, because they're literally tracking everyone, and they can identify them. And
all right, and this is what Alex Karp and Palantir is all about. How the hell you think they found those Iranian leaders and blew them to smithereens the other day? I guarantee you they were using that Palantir system. Now they might not come out right away and tell you that, but you know, this is the system. Remember, I just did a video last week with that guy, Alan Karp, was like, yeah, we use these systems to disrupt, to do this, and sometimes even kill people. We're doing it. We're doing it. You see?
Track them, and then you have invisible weaponry.
Right, and then they'll use AI to send in those drones, and you know, they eventually they're going to be using AI to decide who lives and who dies. Man, they're going to send in the drones, send in AI to, you know, as part of their military arm to go and blow motherfuckers away. It's going to be the same. That same technology is going to be used on you American people in the future. If you bucking up, if you ain't playing ball, if you're doing shit that they don't like, you're being a nuisance and you're being a problem. Hey, they're just going to use AI to hone in, to track wherever you at. If you're in your apartment, if you're hiding somewhere, they'll just send one of these drones right overhead and blow your ass away in the middle of the night without you even knowing that shit was there.
Can then take them out, or, you know, can identify missile strikes. So
let me ask you, so you're talking about the 12-day war against Iran in June of 2025.
Correct.
We were led to believe, just as newspaper readers or news consumers, that those 11 Iranian officials were targeted with human intelligence. You know, that Israel had spies inside of Iran, but you're saying that was done digitally.
That's probably, I would assume that that's probably true, because you always want to get human confirmation of what the systems are telling you. It's always better if you have both. But we are now moving into building out the kind of surveillance systems that can literally track, identify, and integrate with not only our existing weaponry, but ultimately autonomous weaponry. So anyway,
hey, and this is why I be doing videos telling you about the humanoid robots, man. Hey, that's going to be a huge part of Esau's digital military in the future. He's not going to need actual literal police force or a literal human army. You know, now, of course, he'll have humans involved in the army. Don't get me wrong. But ultimately, they want to have it to where they're going to be using autonomous, you know, forces to combat, you know, any issue or problems that they have with humanity, man.
Let me step back. You've got three parts to the control grid. One is the local hardware and infrastructure, and that includes the data centers. Because if you...
The data? I thought those were for AI.
They are. Because if you look at what it takes to apply the equivalent of a social credit system to people's money, so the social credit system I apply to you is different than the one I apply to me. And if you look at the data I need to track you and test whether or not you're following the rules I've given you and enforce those rules, it's an explosive amount of data, particularly because you're looking not just at financial control, but spatial control. So what is AI good at, Tucker? AI is
spatial control, movement control.
Yeah, so turn off the car. So Congressman Massey is trying to kill the kill switch in your car. That's because spatial control means I can turn off your car, or I can set it so your money won't work more than a mile from your home.
Yeah, see, this is why they want to put you in those 15-minute cities, man. It's all about control, bro. Total control. And with this technology and with your micro C-hip, these devils will have total control over every aspect of your life, man. All right? Everything that you do will be dictated by these damn devils, man. So I'm going to close it there. Brothers can check this video out. It's a good video, man. But hey, the time is near. We're getting closer. And hey, the MOTB is being made clearer than ever, man. So with that, Lord, oneness is edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.